All right, let's try this again. We should be live right now. Welcome to this 3,000 subs special. I'm Noble Credit. I am about to hit 3,000 subs very soon. I got to adjust some volume here. About to hit 3,000 subs very soon. I just went live about 5 minutes ago, but the audio was, I did something wrong with the audio. So now I had to fix it and had to restart. But I got to delete that live stream so nobody sees that embarrassment. But welcome. I'm Noble Credit. On this channel, I try to provide value to people, mainly active duty military, but also um, anyone can benefit from the knowledge that I try to give. And apparently, 3,000 people have seen fit to subscribe to the channel after hearing me do a video. So I'm more than appreciative of the support. I am tracking the subscriber count as we speak. And right now, I am tracking it at 2,997. So three more subscribers before we hit 3,000 subscribers. So welcome. I'd like to turn this into a Q&A as well to answer any questions that anyone has. First, I'll go ahead and start talking about the government shutdown, or what would have been a government shutdown, but we narrowly avoided it. So for all of those who are in the military, no, you are not exempt from a government shutdown. If there is one, there's usually a plan in place to keep you guys paid. But in this case, they were able to get to a continuing resolution, and then they staved off a government shutdown until November 17th. Come November 17th, I don't know what's going to happen, but with things looking the way they are now, they just ousted Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. So considering how long it usually takes for things to get done in Congress and how many vacations they take, I don't know if we'll endure another government shutdown come November. So I wouldn't hold my breath, but I may be able to keep you guys up on the latest news, depending on how those streams do. I think the last stream that I did on the government shutdown did pretty well. So I will keep you guys updated on everything that I hear coming down the line about a potential government shutdown and how that's going and what that means for you and your families. So if you're joining the stream, please hit that like button on the way in. This is a 3,000 subscriber special that I'm doing, mostly because I'm very fortunate and very thankful for everyone who has subscribed to the channel. And I kind of wanted to celebrate that milestone with the people who have contributed in getting us to 3,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Also, I would love to get some people approved for credit cards on this stream. So if anyone joins and they want to walk through an application, they've been dying to apply for a certain card. Maybe they want a Hilton Aspire or a Bonvoy Brilliant. I can walk you through the application. I have all of the links in the description box below. So you'll be able to follow along. Government shutdown, credit card applications. While I'm still waiting for people to make it into the stream, I'll say what it means to hit 3,000 subs to me. One of the ways that I look at this channel is how many people, can you influence? So in the military, in the Navy, we have what's called a command, and a command is a group of people under the command of a commanding officer. And a commanding officer could be in charge of 100 people, 50 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people. So I look at the subscriber count as the amount of influence that you can have. And when I'm looking at 3,000 subscribers, to me, that means I have as much influence as a CO of a carrier, a CO of 3,000 sailors and Marines. So I don't take it lightly that I'm really one of the only people who's doing content like this. That's uh, that's giving you guys all types of military tips and tricks to improve your careers, improving your credit so you can purchase assets and save money and budget and just afford the things that you want in life to be able to take aspirational trips. I don't think there's anyone that's actually doing that. And so I take it very seriously to be able to provide this type of value to you guys. So that's what I think of 3000. I think of uh, being in charge of an aircraft carrier. And while, this may not be an aircraft carrier, uh, it is a community built of mostly military, and uh, I want to do the most that I can to help them and their families. So that's what the 3,000 subscribers means to me in a military sense. It means that I have the influence to be able to affect military families, and that's really why I do this. And those of you outside of the military, uh, I do this to help you guys as well. The reason why I focus on military is because I live military at the moment. So I want to do the most I can, and sometimes I see issues within the military that I feel like I can change. I don't come in on here and try to change every little thing, but I think finances is one of those areas where I think people could really benefit from the content that I produce. So I do it, and in hopes that uh, people will, tune in and be better off having heard me. I have some travel plans coming up that I've planned the entire trips, but I have to actually purchase all the tickets. And I should give you guys the itinerary for that trip because it's actually very creative the way that I was able to set it up and do it the most cost effective way. I'm using some points, some United travel wallet, uh, incidental credits. I'm using some miles. There might be some miles thrown in here and there. And then I think I'm using some Hilton Resort credit up at Whistler. So basically, the plan is like this: Denver. So this is like a ski trip, a snowboarding trip for me. But the plan is Denver, Salt Lake City, Whistler, well, Vancouver and Whistler. And then either on the front end or the back end of that trip, I'm going to do uh, trip to Milan, and then from Milan, take the train up to Switzerland. Now, all of this is possible first through credit card points, but also it's possible through free lunch certificates and something called the Epic Pass. Now, I like skiing, I like snowboarding, but we call them ski resorts. We don't call them snowboard resorts. I like snowboarding, so the Epic Pass is for someone like me. But if you plan to go to a ski resort anytime this season, I think you should probably invest in the Epic Pass, especially if you're active duty military. Because if you're active duty military, you're going to get the Epic Pass for $167 when civilians have to pay over $900 for the same benefit. The same Epic Pass, you're going to get it for a steal. and a dependent. This deal actually closes on October 11th, which is why I urge all active duty military who are interested in going on a ski trip this upcoming season, invest in your Epic Pass. And thanks for joining the chat, or thanks for joining the stream. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. This is the 3,000 subscriber milestone stream. I am currently sitting at 2,997 subscribers. I'm hoping to get to 3,000 either tonight or this weekend. I'll get there this weekend, but it would be great if we can get there on the stream. And that'll be something that I would clip out and make a short out of, hitting 3,000 subscribers. DC Gemini says, "My God, back at it again. What's good? Are you still deployed? What's good? Welcome. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. 3,000 subscriber special. Turn this into more of a Q&A, as well as some talk on the government shutdown, credit card applications, also upcoming plans, and then talking about my summer plans, or past summer plans. Last summer, where I executed a pretty good itinerary within 15 days, hitting 10 countries. It was spectacular. It was spectacularly done. It was a lot of work, but we did it. And I think that trip changed a lot of my perspectives about traveling, also about the US. So I'll give you my thoughts on that momentarily. DC Gemini says, "Yes, sir. Deployed till late February, maybe early March." Oh, wow. Well, make that deployment money. That's good money. Yeah, so celebrating 3,000 subscribers. So I've already talked about what that means to me. I want to talk about what that means moving forward for me, and the type of content that I want to continue to produce. So I'm going to continue to double down on the credit card. So I want to bring you guys value that way. I also want to make sure military is taken care of, and that they're aware of some of the things like a government shutdown, some trainings, because that's one of the things that I really care about. Care about training my people. And the more subscribers that you build, the bigger influence that you can have. So getting to 3,000 definitely helps me reach a broader audience, but also when someone comes to the channel and they see, thousands of people have literally subscribed, it adds some credibility to the things that I'm saying. Not that you couldn't go out here and lie your way to thousands of subscribers. You could, but it more than likely, if 3,000 people decided to subscribe to you, you're probably doing something right. You're probably saying something right. You're probably actually helping people. You're probably actually adding value to people's lives. And that's what I want to continue to do. So doubling down on credit card stuff. I need to make sure the travel videos is going to be a big video weekend for me. Make sure these travel videos are getting out, because I have to give you guys some tips and tricks on navigating Europe. That's going to be a big one, because I learned a lot just by traveling to 10 countries. 10 countries, 9 of them European countries. And I've learned a lot, and it's information that I can give back to you guys. So when you guys decide to take that trip, one of the things I like about my travel is, one of the reasons a lot of people join the military, or at least the Navy, is they want to travel, right? I have been fortunate or unfortunate enough to have a job where I don't really travel all that often, or I don't get to travel all that often. There are some opportunities, but they're few and far between for the type of work that I do. But a lot of people, they join so they can travel. I personally can't just travel and deploy in the military. Even that's kind of blessing and a curse, depending on what you join the military for. So my travel is all off of the strength of what I'm able to produce. So either the money that I have or the benefits that I utilize using credit cards or credit card rewards or miles or points or reward bookings, all of that type of stuff. Being able to creatively create an itinerary that's generally for two people. So if one person was doing all of this, it would be way less expensive. But two people, now the expenses start to rise. So you still have to be creative in navigating and doing it. But so I've been able to travel pretty well off of the strength of uh, my own doing for two people, and the military didn't take me to these places. So I'm very thankful for that and fortunate for that. But it also adds to the credibility when I talk about travel, because it's not like I went to, off the coast of India and the Navy took me there, because I couldn't tell you how to get there. What would I tell you? Join the Navy so you can be off the coast of India, or join the Navy so you can ride a ship off the coast of Africa. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you to do that. You wouldn't be able to replicate what I've done. But because I've done the travel, basically scraping together as many points and miles as I can, trying to creatively use them, trying to use them as optimally as I can, planning trips that would be more expensive if I went to place B or to stop number 3. If I went there second, it would be way more expensive, because everything isn't just a connect the dots. As long as you're traveling in a straight line or in a way that makes sense. Every travel stop isn't like that. Some places are cheaper to get to than others, and then you got to connect those, and then that's when it gets a little complicated. So I can replicate the travel that I've done, and I can help people. So unlike being in the military and you deploy and you're off the coast of the Arabian Sea, you've been to the Arabian Sea, but can you help other people get there? So I've been to Italy, I've been to Austria, I've been to the Czech Republic, so I can help other people who maybe aspire to travel. I can help them get there because I've done it, and the Navy didn't take me there. I took myself there. I planned a route, planned a trip in order to do it. So that's one of the reasons why following this channel I think is a good idea, because you may want to experience some of these things in your life, and sometimes all you need is to see how it can be done. And so I'll actually take this time to kind of navigate you through the itinerary for Europe. And this will be in a video, so this won't just be in a live stream. Okay. So I'll explain pretty much every part of this trip. So the most expensive part and the only part of this trip, this is the European trip. This is the 10 countries in 15 days trip. So I took a flight from BWI to Reykjavik. Now, why did I do that? I did that because going to Reykjavik is the cheapest way to get into Europe, especially for two people. It's the cheapest way to get into Europe. And I knew that all I needed to do was get into Europe, and I was going to be good to go. It was going to be pretty cheap after that. But I used an airline called Play. Now, Play Airlines is not a transfer partner of any airline credit card, any travel credit card. It's not a transfer partner at all. Play Airlines is They just kind of do their own thing. They just basically the thing that they're good for is they provide the cheapest travel into Iceland. That's their main claim to fame. They're an airline that was founded probably within the past 10 years. Okay, so I took a flight. We took a flight out of here on August 1st to Reykjavik. Now, we didn't, there's no airport in Reykjavik. There's an airport in Keflavik. I think that's how you pronounce it, Keflavik, Kef. So, and then we had about an hour-ish drive. So we got a rental car, had an hour-ish drive to Reykjavik where we stayed at a Hilton Nordica. Now, the flight for two people to Iceland was $613.94. That was really the only money that we spent on travel. Now, I look at that and I think, okay, I could have spent like $1,000 and transfer some points, or I can spend this $613. Either way, I have to get to Iceland in order to get to where I need to go. So we did BWI to Reykjavik, or Keflavik, because KEF is the airport nearest Reykjavik, and you just have that hour or so drive. And then we stayed at the Hilton Reykjavik Nordica, and we stayed there for 1 night, 2 nights. Anyways, I liked it. We paid 60,000 points. If you Google Maps the Hilton Nordica, the Hilton Reykjavik Nordica, if you Google Maps it, it actually looks further from like the city center than it actually is. It's actually super close. I don't know. Google Maps does not do it any justice. It's super close. Everything's really close in Reykjavik for the most part. But you get to Keflavik and you drive to Reykjavik, and then the Hilton Reykjavik Nordica is where we stayed, and we paid because we had a red eye. We paid, I think it was only 1 night. We paid 60,000 points because we got there in a very early morning, and then that's when we got there in a very early morning. And we did early check-in, so we checked in like before 10 a.m. We should have checked in actually sooner. They would have let us check in sooner because we tried to get breakfast. Is another thing you realize when you get to Europe. They don't really eat breakfast in Europe. It's not really that big of a thing. And then we got there and I tried to eat a little bit of breakfast, and then we tried to fall asleep in the car thinking, because we were actually pretty tired at that point. So red eye flight, we were pretty tired. We tried to fall asleep in the car, but the meter maid, he woke us up. It was like, you can't just sleep here. All right. So we got back into the car and we thought maybe we can go and check into the hotel. We should have done this first, but we then went to the hotel and they were so nice. And I told them, I said, we were actually sleeping in a car. Oh, you didn't have to do that. You could have came and checked in. And because we got like Hilton Diamond status, we had like a really nice room. And a video of this entire trip, you can check my Instagram because I posted about pretty much everywhere we went. But a video is coming out on all of this travel. But we only paid 60,000 points this was 60,000 Hilton points for that 1 night. And that was actually a decent deal. It was one of the best deals in that area. Everything else was pretty expensive. The Nordica is a pretty nice hotel. So I thought it was a good deal. Then from Reykjavik to Rome, we took that flight so we left BWI, Baltimore, Washington, on August 1st. Red eye, we arrived August 2nd to Reykjavik, and we get there. We check into the hotel pretty early, and then we start exploring Reykjavik. I love Reykjavik. I think Reykjavik, Iceland was my favorite. It was the first stop, but it was my favorite stop on this trip. And then so we had 1 night there, and then that next morning we had some more time there because we didn't leave in the morning. We left sometime in the evening. So we left at 6:15 in the evening. So that next morning we explored Reykjavik some more. It was a lot of fun. We had the best hot dogs you've ever tasted. Uh, I love those hot dogs. And then we went to Rome. So we flew to Rome, but we had a stopover. We had a stopover in Oslo. Oslo is in Norway. Um, Traveling to Norway was different. Not bad different. It was just different because uh, it's it's hard to describe because I've never seen people look. It's just hard to describe. Um, we had a stopover in Oslo, so we slept there in the airport hotel. It was called the Radisson Blue Airport Hotel, uh, and then I spent 23,000 MR points on that hotel room. Uh, One of the reasons why I stayed at that hotel and I didn't go into like inner city Oslo is because it was only a stopover and we arrived there at night and we did not have time to explore Oslo. So just stayed at the airport hotel for 23,000 MR points. And then we had to wake up pretty early to get the rest of the flight to Rome. And on that flight, we spent 32,000 United miles. Remember, this is travel for two. 32,000 United miles plus $65 because the award booking, it required me to spend $65. So 32 miles and then $65, a pretty good deal. Excuse me. And then when we got to Rome, I we stayed at the Westin Excelsior. It's in Rome. It's in like the main part of Rome. If you've ever been there, it's in like the main part of Rome, and decent hotel. Has more of an old style feel to it, but good hotel. Cost us 85. It cost us a 85K free night certificate. So the hotel actually cost 78K. So we were like 7K off of the maximum, but that was probably as good as we could do without going over that 85. Yeah. And then from Rome was cool. Rome was cool. We saw all the sites, Colosseum, Pantheon. We saw some good sites. And then from Rome, we went to Innsbruck. We flew to Munich though to get to Innsbruck. The reason why we went to Innsbruck was that's where I went snowboarding for the summer. So I did some. Hang on, looking at the chats. DC Gemini said not the glizzies. Yeah. So yeah, the hot dogs in Reykjavik, the best hot dog I've ever tasted, and yeah, man, you would just have to try it. Like if you tasted what I tasted, you would understand what I'm saying. But yeah, they were good. But back to Innsbruck. So we get to Munich and we have to take a rental car. I rented like here's a big mistake that I made. I used points to do this booking. I think I used Chase points because I had enough Chase points to book the rental car. And they upgraded me to an M4, so a Beamer. Here's the mistake that I made. On the way back, I did not fill up with gas. And I thought I was all cool. I go to drop off the rental car, and I'm like, you guys want anything else from me? They're like, no. I'm like, bet. Okay, cool. I walk away. A few days later, I get my bill. I'm like, what? Yeah, because they had to put gas back into the car, they charged me an arm and a leg because also it was an M4 that takes special gas. I think they knew what they were doing when they gave me that upgrade. I think they were banking on me forgetting because I was also late. Like I was on the Autobahn and we were like I was kind of in danger of being late, so I'm like kicking it on the Autobahn. Autobahn is the highway in Germany, and so I'm kicking it. I'm thinking I'm gonna be late. I'm thinking I don't have time to stop a um, at a gas station. Also, I wasn't coming from like 40 minutes away. I had like a 3 hour drive. Like we came from Munich. Well, we arrived at Munich and we went down to Innsbruck. So it was like a 2 or 3 hour drive. So like getting up early in that morning, we had a really early flight. And then I just arrived at the airport and I just gave him the keys and and we like tried to run to our flight. We ended up making it on time, but seeing the cost of them having to fill the M4 up with gas, that was hard to swallow. But lesson learned: always fill the tank up if you rent an M4. If you rent any car, we didn't actually make that mistake in Reykjavik. We filled it up right before we got to the rental car place. So I should have known. Also, welcome if you're joining. Please hit the like button on your way in. A lot of people joining not hitting the like button. Hit that like button for me. Uh, Also, this is the 3,000 subscriber special. Trying to hit that 3K subs. Hoping to hit it on this live stream. We just need 3 more people to subscribe. Share this video with all your friends. Let's get to 3K. All right, moving on to okay. So why did we go to Innsbruck? So I went to Innsbruck because that was the closest city to a summer ski resort called Hintertux, one of the only ones open at that time. Remember, this is August, so snow's not really ample anywhere. But Hintertux had some snow, so that's why we went to Austria, and it was one of the only summer ski resorts really in the world. So we arrive in Munich, drive down to Innsbruck, and that's where we stayed the night. And then the next morning, we got up pretty early, got our breakfast at the hotel, and then we headed to Hintertux and snowboarded. I snowboarded in some in like an ice storm. It's like the most recent video that I just posted. It's me snowboarding in an ice storm. So, yep. And we were only able to do it for, I want to say, a day. Yeah, we were only able to do it for a day. And then we had to get out of Innsbruck and we had to go to where do we go to after Innsbruck? Well, Innsbruck, drive up to Munich, and then we headed to Prague. So Prague is in Czech Republic. And to give you a little insight on Innsbruck, on like how it was okay. In Innsbruck, I actually experienced a pretty blatant, like we go into this Hard Rock Cafe, and they sit us way in the back. And sorry, not a Hard Rock. Yeah, Hard Rock Cafe. Because at that time we're eating all this foreign food at the time. Like, all right, let's get something normal so I don't have to struggle with a menu right now. Because we'd been a lot of places at that point, and try to go to Hard Rock in like Innsbruck's town center. We're going to the Hard Rock Cafe, and the waitress, I mean, she didn't really look happy to see us anyway, but she takes us all the way to the back. And at first I'm like, okay, because you don't necessarily think people are out to get you all the time, or out to not serve you all the time. So we get all the way to the back. We wait about 10 minutes. While we're in the back, everyone else, all the other customers are on the front. We're the only ones that look like us. And I just noticed, I'm like, it's been 10 minutes and nobody has come to say, hey, let me take your order or anything. And I'm not exaggerating. Like it was really 10 minutes at least. And the back of that Hard Rock Cafe was actually pretty cold. It wasn't warm. So it's like I can understand why they wouldn't sit people back here, but they sat us back here. And so try not to think too much about it until I started seeing other people come into the Hard Rock Cafe. And they would sit them not in the back with us. We were the only ones back there. They sat us, or they sat the other people right in the front with everyone else. Then I was like, not Innsbruck, not Austria. All right, it exists here. All right, it's pretty blatant here too. So the waitress or the waiter finally comes to us, and I go, "Hey, real quick, why'd you sit us all the way back here?" And just curious. He said, "Oh, okay, we're just opening up this section." Um, and I thought and then he goes away. He asks us if we want some water. I say, yeah, some water. He goes away. And I look at my wife and I go, he just lied. He's not trying to open up this section. If they were trying to open up that section, two other families so here's another thing. If it was maybe like a single person that came in again and they were like, oh, we just got this one spot for you near everyone else and you're not going to take up too much space. That's not what happened. There were families came in, and those families, they could have sat near us because there was plenty of room. They didn't. They sat those families right in the front, like right in the main part where the waitresses were actually really working. And so I look over and I said, he just lied. Let's go. So we got up. I just walked out, and that's like one of the moments where you just gotta take a L and be like, yeah. I mean, it happens. So Europe can be like that. So you just got to be prepared. But this is one of the things that you can only learn this from traveling. I would if I hadn't experienced that myself, I wouldn't really think that was something that happens during this day and age. But it really is like that. And I try to give every benefit of the doubt that I could. I try to give the benefit of the doubt. Oh, maybe they just doing a turnover of shift. Sometimes that happens. It takes a second to turn over, and then a new waiter has to get what tables the other waiters having, things like that. But that's not what happened. They blatantly set it up that way. Hold on, let me read the comments. Chad's Money Minutes goes 3K subs, blessings on blessings. Of course, blessings on blessings. DC Gemini goes, this is why I don't travel to Europe. I stick to the Caribbean and other countries. That have people that look like me. Yeah. So I wanna be able to explore everywhere. Because I think it's important to not just stay in my comfort zone, but I can understand people that just kind of don't want to deal with like blatant racism where they go. I completely get that. I like the Caribbean too. Like I like Puerto Rico. I have plans to go to Aruba one day. I liked St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Island. I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to try to make it to St. John, but we only made it to St. Thomas at one time. And the water in the Caribbean, oh my God, it was just so warm. Like if you've been to the Caribbean, you know what I'm talking about. The water is just warm. It makes me not really want to go to a beach ever again that's not in the Caribbean or not in some warm water. Like I don't even remember the water in Hawaii being that warm. So Michael Stewart says, congrats, 3K. Absolutely. We're trying to hit it. I'm looking at the counter right now. I'm still at 2,997. We need 3 more subscribers to hit that goal, that 3,000 goal. But anyways, back to Innsbruck. Innsbruck, like another thing that I've learned about travel is people aren't just going to be nice everywhere you go. Sometimes in America, You can go places and everyone's pretty nice. I mean, it's hit or miss, right? So Europe is like everywhere. Um, I didn't necessarily get that feeling when I was in Norway, even though I wasn't there for all that long. I got the feeling that people were pretty nice. Like Iceland, people were pretty nice. I get to Austria, man, the hotel receptionist, man. In case you guys ever go there, we stayed at the Innsbruck Tivoli Hilton for 36,000 and then 40,000 Hilton points. So one night was 36,000, the other night was 40,000. We stayed there, excuse me, and man, the receptionist was just rude. She took time to like bring down, like you had to bring her guard down, like for real. So yeah, she was not the easiest person to get along with. And I don't go into places trying to start things with people. Sometimes people just have attitudes. Um, but yeah, Innsbruck was an interesting spot. I really only went to Innsbruck just so I could get to Hintertux. I didn't go there to visit Innsbruck, so you kind of get what you get uh, when you go to places like that. But after Innsbruck, we had to, like I said, we had that drive up to Munich, and then we returned the M4, and then we took the flight to Prague. Prague, I love Prague. The Prague beers, amazing, cheap beers. Uh, I like the sights in Prague. We went to Prague's the castle. I forget the name of the castle. It might be called Prague Castle. We went to the Charles Bridge. I love the Charles Bridge. We went up into the Charles Bridge. Posted some videos about that on Instagram. You can check that out. I think I actually have a video on a shorts video here on YouTube about it. But I like Prague. We stayed in the Hilton Prague Old Town for 50K points per night. We stayed for 2 nights. It was a good deal. I liked that hotel. We had a sauna in there. They had a small pool, but it was fine. So I like Prague. And then the old town, like the old town square, just nice. Just nice. I didn't have too much of an issue with Prague. Food was good. We had some delicious ice cream. I never had that type of ice cream before. Also, if you're joining me, please hit the like button for me. Thank you very much. I'm trying to hit 3,000 subscribers. This is a 3,000 subscriber special. We're at 2,997. Let's get to 3,000. I just need three more people that decide that they have heard me speak and make a video, and that it was worthwhile to keep hearing me speak and make more videos. So after Prague, we headed to Paris, Paris. And then this actually cost us, it cost us 27,000 UR points to get from Innsbruck to Prague. Okay, so the flight. And then from Prague to Paris, it cost us 13,000 UR points, and I used Swiss Airlines. And then we stayed at the Hyatt Place, Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. 2 nights there. The reason why we stayed near the airport was because the night or the morning that we had a flight out, it was a very early flight. We had a 7:15 a.m. flight, and I wasn't about to mess with the Paris traffic. So staying near the airport, waking up in that morning, okay, we are, staying at the hotel, the Hyatt Place, Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. Staying at that hotel made sure that we weren't late for a flight. Now, how close was it to the hotel? I wish it was closer, but it was as close as you can get to that major hub of a hotel in Europe. Because I think Paris CDG is like the biggest airport in all of Europe. So it costs us 3.5K points per night. These are Hyatt points. So 7K Hyatt points total. Paris was cool. We took the Eiffel Tower picture. A lot of good stuff in Paris. We visited Versailles. Yeah, enjoyed Paris. We went down some major shopping street. I'm forgetting the name of it. It's something des Champs. Oh, I'm forgetting the name of it. But then from Paris, we went to Barcelona. It cost us 32,000 UR points. You might notice a pattern here. How we're getting around through Europe. A lot of UR points. A lot of flights using UR points. There's a reason behind that. And then from Paris, so from Paris to Barcelona, 32,000 UR points for Air France. And then we stayed at the AC Hotel Barcelona Forum Marriott. Now, this hotel was okay. The reason why this hotel was only okay, it was more on the outskirts of Barcelona. And then while we were there was this major music festival. So it was really loud at night. And yeah, it definitely affected the hotel. It affected the experience at the hotel. But it wasn't the best hotel. It wasn't the worst hotel that we stayed at for the entire trip. So I couldn't be too mad. Also, Barcelona itself, I love Barcelona. It was the place that we spent the most time in, the city that we spent the most time in during our travels. And Barcelona, to me, like, it felt like we lived there because we took public transportation everywhere. As soon as we got there, we got the Metro card, and that's all we ever used. We never Ubered anywhere. We just took the train, took the bus to everywhere. We went to a trampoline park. We took a train. We took a bus. So I enjoyed Barcelona. Could I live there? I could probably live there. If I'm there for like 4 or 5 months, I would probably be pretty fluent in Spanish by then. But Barcelona has a nice place in my heart, and that AC Hotel Barcelona Forum Marriott, it cost us 32,000 points per night. So total, it was 64,000 Marriott points. Excuse me. Make sure you hit the like button for me if you're watching. And then from Barcelona, we went to Lisbon. Now, Lisbon is in Portugal, so it's not that far of a flight to go from Spain to Portugal. So we left at 5:45 p.m. and then we got to Lisbon at 6:45 p.m. So about an hour flight, and it cost us 28,000. Remember, I'm traveling for 2 people. All of this stuff is for 2 people, except for the lodging. The lodging is for 2 people, but the lodging, it doesn't matter how many people you have, or to an extent. 28K UR points for Tap Portugal. The special thing about Tap Portugal is they offer you a free stopover in like Portugal if you're going somewhere. It didn't matter to us because our final destination was or our final destination for that part of the trip was Portugal. So we booked that, and in order to get home, we booked an Air Canada flight for 125,000 UR points. Now, how was Lisbon? Well, we ended up staying in a Moxie Lisbon, and this was my first time staying at a Moxie. I gotta say, it's an interesting type of hotel. If you've ever seen a commercial for it, it's a pretty flamboyant type of hotel, a lot of pink. They actually did have like a foosball table. I won every game. They had a foosball table, but it's a more of a flamboyant, like hipster type of hotel. I guess you either like the vibe or you don't. The vibe was okay. It was fine. It wasn't the best hotel that we stayed at. I will say out of this whole trip, the best hotel that we stayed at, because we weren't staying at like the nicest properties. We stayed at like some fair properties, I would say. The nicest hotel, it's between the Hilton Prague and the Hilton Nordica in Reykjavik. Yeah. Back to Lisbon. So we get to Lisbon and we stay at the Moxie Lisbon City. It costs us 35K. Well, we use a free night certificate. So from the Bonvoy Boundless, which is a card that I used to have, but I have the free night certificate from it, which I upgraded to a Chase Ritz Carlton credit card. We used that free night certificate and then we added on, because we needed another night, we added on 33,000 points to pay for that next night. So 2 nights in Lisbon. Lisbon was fine. Lisbon was cool. We explored some spots. Balim Tower. There was this food area that had all these different vendors. We explored that. That was nice. We rode scooters. Some people rode scooters better than other people. Not saying any names, but we had a good time in Portugal. It was my first time actually using one of those city scooters. And yeah, I got yelled at a few times, even by the cops, because I didn't realize you weren't supposed to ride those things on the highway, or not the highway. You weren't supposed to ride those things on the sidewalk. I thought you were supposed to. I thought like the road was like for cars, but no, like the road is for you on your scooter. So that was a mistake on my part. But from Lisbon, we went to Canada. Now, Canada did us dirty, and we got on the flight to head back to BWI when we got to Toronto. And they deboarded everyone. And luckily for us, only because we weren't going to DC, the people that were trying to go to DC, like the other people in the airport not on our flight, the people that were trying to go to DC, their flights got canceled because of issues in DC, on the runways in DC. Our flight got canceled because of issues on the plane. So Toronto, Pearson's Airport, or Air Canada, they gave us vouchers to stay in Toronto for free. And then we had to use the voucher to pay for the taxi as well. So that was a busy part of the trip. So we had to stay the night in Toronto. It was pretty late at night, so it wasn't really anything really open. I think we ended up trying to get some Burger King. Yeah, we tried to get some Burger King that night. Anyways, we had to wake up in the morning and be out of there super early, so it wasn't like an enjoyable time in Toronto. But that Lisbon BWI flight, it cost us 125K UR points on Air Canada. And that is how our trip ended. Great trip overall. Adding up all the points, I'll have to do that on the video. That I come out with on this trip itinerary, but you could probably do the math if you play this back. Great trip. I look forward to doing more trips like that and then helping you guys do the same exact things, being able to travel like that pretty much for free. Because that trip would cost thousands and thousands of dollars for someone, but we did that, and the only thing that we paid for outside of that little rental car snafu was the $613 to get to Reykjavik. Everything within Europe paid for with points. Thanks for sticking with me. For those of you who have been sticking with me, this is the 3,000 subscriber edition of the Noble Credit Podcast. Thanking you guys for helping me hit 3,000 subs. I look forward to continuing to make videos and try to have an influence over people's credit decisions. I like being able to help out military specifically as well, even though I like helping civilians. But uh, I think I think doing a service for our men and women um, is of utmost importance for me. So I want to be able to add value to them as well. We are 3 subscribers away. Okay, so it looks like I won't hit that 3,000 on the stream, but I will hit it this weekend, and nobody will care that we didn't hit it on the stream, but we will hit it this weekend. Make sure you hit the like button for me if you are sticking with me on this video. But yeah, so I talked about 3,000 subs. Um, if you are interested in any credit cards that I do talk about on the channel, links in the description. That's another way that you can help the channel, or you can support the channel, is by uh, using the links to apply for the credit cards that you're interested in. American Express, Chase credit cards, Capital One, Discover. I've referred a lot of credit cards, and so I will continue to do that. Yeah, just use the links if you find value in the things that excuse me, in the things that I'm saying about the credit cards. If I help you get approved, let me know. I tend to help a lot of people get approved for credit cards because I've applied for a lot of them. I think I have like 40 credit cards or so. Yeah, something ridiculous. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm open. This is a Q&A. I talked about the government shutdown, talked about 3,000 subscribers. I talked about what this means for the military, like my military specific content, why I do this. I talked about the travel benefits, why I'm able to show you how to replicate the travel that I do, even though people join the military and some join it to be able to travel. I did that, but I'm not traveling because of the military. I'm traveling, like, the military didn't send me to Innsbruck, Austria. It didn't send me to Prague, Czech Republic. I got there on my own, and now you can replicate it. If I had gotten to those places via deployment or a ship took me there, then I couldn't really guide you on how to do the trip, right? So that's one of the reasons why I do this. I do this so that you can replicate the things that I do. So when I'm talking about getting credit cards and applying for them, these are all things that I've done and that I've had success with. And so I'm able to tell you how to do those things so you can also be successful when you're trying to apply for credit cards. So that's one way that you could help the channel, is if you are interested in applying for any of the credit cards that I talk about, you can use the links in the description box below. And I'm looking at the counter right now. We are still at 2,997. Hey, sometimes it's like that. But no reason not to be thankful for all the people who have decided to subscribe to me. We talked about credit card applications, 3,000 subscribers, government shutdown, benefits. Oh, we got another like in there. Yeah, go ahead and hit the like button for me if you would. We talked about benefits of credit cards a little bit because I just gave you the rundown of my entire trip to Europe, and that entire trip, uh, I wouldn't trade that for the world. I think even though I had a bad experience, that one bad experience I talked about in Innsbruck, even though I had a bad experience there, I still wouldn't trade that experience for the world because it actually gave me more of an appreciation for my home. It gave me more of an appreciation for being here in the United States. So, your overall great experience. I can't wait to travel other places. I can't wait to get back to Europe. I can't wait to go to South America. I can't wait to go to Canada again. I can't wait to go all over the US again. But I would be remiss if I didn't say the United States is still, in my opinion, the greatest country on earth. And I don't think it's like a crazy nationalistic pride thing. I just think the way that this country operates, uh, like people are nicer than you think they are here. And maybe I shouldn't get too deep into that, but uh, being in other countries and realizing how people were kind of treating me and looking at us, it's like uh, things are a little bit more comfortable at your home. It doesn't mean I'm not going to travel again. I'm still going all over the world. Like I said, we're snowboarding all over the world, but I recognize that uh, there's just a difference when you travel outside of where you're comfortable. And I'm not going to stop, but it's something that I have to be wary of because things like that happen in Innsbruck. Um, you know, what if I was the type of person to make a big scene out of something like that, and then I don't know the language because I don't speak German, and maybe I do something that breaks the law. They could lock me up. They could say I did something, and I would have no way to defend myself. So uh, you still have to be very careful when you travel. Now, do things happen in the United States? Yes, but you don't have to deal with that language barrier that would exist if I had done something wrong anywhere else, like in Europe, like Portugal, for example. Um, People are really like protective of their own in other countries. So they're more they're more against outsiders than I think that we are even here in the United States. Uh, I got confronted by a cop in Lisbon because I was riding a scooter, and he tried to talk to me, and I as politely as I could, I go, uh, English, and he said, we speak English, or excuse me, we speak Portuguese here. I was like, really? I'm I can't learn Portuguese in the 2 days that I'm here. I can't just learn that entire language. But uh, yeah, I dealt with that situation as respectfully as I could. So yeah, you just got to be careful when you travel. Doesn't mean I'm not going to travel again. I'm still going all over the world. I'm going, one day we'll hit Asia, right? We'll be in South America. We'll be completely out of our comfort zones, but um, I'm still going to have to be intelligent about the way I travel. You know, maybe don't ruffle a feather here or there. Maybe understand the laws or the places that you go, because sometimes it only takes that. Like, think about it. You could be in another country, a language that you don't know, and you could do something that you think is pretty normal in your own country, and it's not, and it's actually against the law. They can lock you up, and you're in handcuffs at this point. Now you don't even know you don't even know how you're going to get out of the situation. It's just something that simple. So, uh, got to be extremely careful with traveling, even though a lot of places that we went fairly nice. Like, I think the best place on the list was Reykjavik. Um, and then Barcelona, I felt like we lived there just because we were there for the longest. And if you're joining me, please hit the like button. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing the channel with someone so we can get to 3,000 subs, man. We're 3 subscribers away. All it takes, 3 people, 3 subscribers away from 3,000. We'll hit it this weekend. Oh, thanks for the comment. I'm gonna butcher your name. Chomb Haley. Oh, Halesalsi. Oh gosh, I just butchered that. It says, "Hello, my friend. Congratulations, 3,000 subs, and thank you for all your information you gave us about credit, and thanks for serving." Yep, absolutely. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do this. Uh, I want to be of service to people. Um, it's one of the reasons why I joined. Also, want to help out as many military as I can, and then as many civilians as I can too. If civilians, non-military, can benefit from the information that I'm giving, then that's great too. Uh, I will also be able to talk about one of my most recent finds. For those of you who are interested in the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite credit card, I came out with a community post. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. I came out with a community post the other day, finishing my data points on using the $300 travel incidental credit on a United purchase. So United Travel Wallet is a hack that I've used this year, and I used it last year too, but I've gotten a lot of value out of it. So basically, my my United wallet has gone from this to this, like thousands in there, all because of credit card incidental travel credits that I use to liquidate into the United Travel Wallet. And I have videos to show you how to do that. So go ahead and check the post if you're interested in learning how to do that. But just the value that you can get from a channel like this, like putting thousands of dollars in someone's pocket, that's what this data point does. And so the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite card comes with that $300 travel credit. And then I was able to liquidate that into the United Travel Wallet again, like uh, the other cards I've done it for, the Amex Platinum, the Hilton Aspire. Uh, yeah, those are the cards I've done it for. And then now I get to do it for a new card, the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite. And so people were wondering, was this viable? And I guinea pigged it, and it worked out. So if you appreciate me guinea pigging this for you, you know, don't hesitate to hit the like button. And then you can also share the channel. Also, another thing that I just came out with, which YouTube lets me do now, is channel memberships. So consider becoming a member of the channel if you want exclusive information that I'm putting out. Um, if you want to feel more in like the inner circle, be the first to know things, be the first to see videos, um, consider becoming a member of the channel. And yeah, so that just happened. Channel memberships just got approved for me like 30 minutes ago. So yeah, maybe you might see the button for becoming a member on this video, on this live stream. But yeah, so to walk you through that data point timeline, on Sunday, September 24th, I purchased a $50 and a $250 increment Bank of America, or excuse me, United Travel Wallet increment using the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite card. $50 and $250 because that's just what United accepts. It accepts a $250 denomination. It doesn't accept a $300. So I combined a 50 and a 250 in two separate transactions. September 26th, that Tuesday, United Travel Bank purchase posted for both the $50 and the 250. Okay, so it finally posted. The date says the 26th that it posted, but it didn't actually appear until the 28th. So if you're trying to do the data point yourself, just know it may take a few more days for it to show as posted. Then on Friday the 29th, September 29th, the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite Airline Incidental Statement Credit Meter, the one that's in app, it moved to $300 fully used in 2023. So at that point, I knew that it was going to be good to go. But the balance still showed as $300. And then on Monday, October 2nd, credits for both purchases posted and were credited to my Bank of America account, reaching a zero balance, proving that this United Airline incidental fee credit hack worked. Michael Stewart says, yeah, you can join now. Button is up. Nice. All right, excellent. And welcome to, for anybody who's just joining me, welcome to the 3,000 subscribers special. I'm Noble Credit. We should be hitting 3,000 subscribers, hopefully on this stream, but if not on the stream, we'll hit it this weekend. But I've talked a lot about what 3,000 subscribers means to me. So you can go back either earlier in this video or you can just watch the playback. But appreciate you joining. And if you are joining, please hit that like button so people know that this is a good video. I'm good for it. Trust me, if you just joined, I'm good for it. Hit that like button for me. Yeah, so I just finished talking you guys through that Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite travel incidental credit hack data point that I did. That was a mouthful. Just finished talking you guys through that because people have been asking me about that for months. Like I got the Premium Rewards Elite back in June, July-ish, and now it's October. People have been asking about it since then. So I finally was able to get that, and that influenced people to go out and get that Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite credit card. So yeah, I recommend that card. I love that credit card. So that takes the annual fee for that credit card down from $550 if you're able to use this United Travel Credit hack to $250. And then you can use the $150 lifestyle credit, which is really easy to use. You can use it on rideshare, you can use it on streaming services. Super easy to use. Hit the like button. Super easy to use. And 150 minus 250, now you're at 100. And then how do you get $100 worth of value out of this? Why don't you go get global entry? Global entry includes the ability to use TSA PreCheck. TSA PreCheck by itself is like $85. Global entry is $100. Just get global entry. Now your annual fee is $0. Boom. It's $100 for every 4 or 5 years. Actually, I just got global entry. It's embarrassing because I've had these credit cards for years, but I just got global entry. So I can't wait to travel and not have to go through the long customs lines that everyone else has to go through. Just go through. Just go through the signs that say global entry this way. And that's the way that we're going to go. So that's going to be really fun. And it also, having TSA PreCheck is nice. I usually travel and I usually have TSA PreCheck because of being active duty military. We just kind of get that. It comes along with our DoD ID number, which is also known as your known traveler number. So you get TSA PreCheck. Anyone have any questions that I'm able to answer? Thank you for joining me, by the way. Hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. We have not hit the 3,000 subscriber mark yet. We will hit it this weekend, but this stream will serve as a thank you to everyone for helping me reach this milestone. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. DC Gemini goes, the con about global entry is that you get past the line super quick, but now you're stuck waiting forever for your bags. Stuck waiting forever for your bags. Yes, I guess you're right about that. Maybe you're right about that. I didn't experience that because even like during intra-European travel, we didn't really have to go through customs really at all. So I was fine. The only time I had to go through customs was when I came to Canada, and then I had to go through customs. But yeah, I guess I could see how that would be a little annoying. But if you're doing like inter-country travel, then global entry would be pretty cool because then you can get to the lounge quicker. And priority pass lounges outside the US are known to be better. Oh, DC Gemini says, I still love global entry either way. Yeah, global entry is great. And I can't wait to use it. It's going to be interesting using it. I actually tried to record while we were doing the global entry interview, and the guy was like, put that phone away. So that was funny. Any other questions that I can answer? Thank you to those of you who have joined me on the stream. Feel free to browse the catalog of videos. I got tons of videos trying to give you guys value. And then also make sure you share the video. Hit the like button, share the video. 3,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I will say it's Thursday. I think there's a football game on. All right. Time to go watch this football game. Watch the playback. Oh, one question. So we using that high card as a catch-all card and hitting this 15K spin next year or what? So using the high card as a catch-all card. If you don't have all right, let's say you have only one minimum spend requirement to hit next year, then I would say, yes, it's probably worth it to use the high card. It's probably worth it to use the high card as the catch-all card. But if you have like multiple sign-up bonus that you're working on, you might not hit the $15,000 worth of spend. It just depends on how much you spend, organically. Like I can't pay my mortgage with a credit card. So like outside of a mortgage, if I spend 15,000 just naturally, which I think I would in a year outside of like mortgage and things like that, things that I can actually pay with credit cards, I think I would spend 15,000, but I would have to use that as a catch-all card almost probably the entire year, because even some things that are like big expenses can come up and they're really not payable with credit cards. So that's why I would say if you're working on sign-up bonuses, then it may not be the best idea to use the high card. Personally, I don't think I'll have to check my Chase 524 status, like see when I go under. I probably won't go under Chase 524 in 2024. So it will probably be my catch-all card for starting in January and then get that free night certificate. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Thank you for reminding me, DC Gemini. DC Gemini says, I'll most likely have 0 new cards next year since I'm gardening. I wanted to do it with the Hilton business card, but I'm canceling after year 1. Yep. And then you got to get that Aspire because you're in Amex pop-up jail. Chomb Helisali. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering the name. Chomby says the first best hotel credit card. Oh, the first best hotel credit card. I think you should get the first best hotel credit card. It depends on a few things. Okay, so it depends on your Chase 524 status. Because I recommend prioritizing Chase cards first. Because when you prioritize Chase cards first, or let's say you prioritize American Express cards first, then that excludes you from Chase cards afterwards, and then you won't even be able to. Whereas if you do Chase cards first, you'll still be able to get the American Express cards afterwards. And it's just the time it takes to be re-eligible for Chase cards after you get a certain amount of credit cards. It's too long of a time. So that's why I'm like, get your Chase cards first and then move on to American Express. Now, American Express, they probably have the best hotel credit card on the market, which is the Hilton Aspire. But you can get the Hilton Aspire at any point. The Chase hotel credit card that I would recommend, so it's three. There's three main ones. The Bonvoy Boundless, the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless, the Hyatt credit card, and then the IHG credit card. I recommend getting the Bonvoy Boundless first, not because it's the best. It just will allow you to upgrade it to a Chase Ritz-Carlton card in a year's time. You really can't go any wrong with all three. I will say the Hyatt card usually has the worst sign-up bonus. It has a decent sign-up bonus. Hyatt points are worth a lot more, so the sign-up bonus looks a lot low. But they've had better sign-up bonuses in the past that like the sign-up bonuses nowadays aren't as good. So I would say either get the IHG card, and it depends on where you're going, right? So if you're going to a place where you're going to stay in IHG property, then which is pretty much everywhere because IHG has the biggest footprint, one of the biggest footprints, unlike Hyatt. I would get a sign-up bonus, or I would get the IHG card. If you are going somewhere and you're staying in Marriott, I would get the Marriott Bonvoy card. But you could also get both. I recommend getting both. They're both keeper cards. So they're both $95 annual fee cards that come with free night certificates that give you that easily give you more than $95 back in value for the card. Plus the sign-up bonus. Yeah, you can't lose. But if you're interested in one hotel card, get either the Bonvoy Boundless or the IHG. It depends on which one you want to stay at the most. There's also nothing wrong with having both, which is what I have. I have both. Well, I have all three for Chase. And then once you get those cards, then you can go ahead and get your Hilton Aspire card, which is probably the best hotel credit card on the market. DC Gemini says, Michael Stewart says, funding exists. Can you tell me what you're referring to, Michael Stewart? DC Gemini said, I'm going with Hilton Aspire. Yeah, Hilton Aspire is the best credit card on the market, but also I want to help people make sure that they're prioritizing. Like if they want more credit cards, then get your Chase credit card first, because I don't want you to miss. Like you can get the American Express Hilton Aspire. I have three Hilton Aspires by myself. If I wanted to, I could have another one right now. But no matter what, if I really wanted an IHG card, I could not be approved for it. If I really want another Hyatt card right now, another Marriott Bonvoy Brown, I cannot be approved for it right now. That's just how Chase is. Michael Stewart says, Haley Sell C. Hopefully that's right. Yeah. The username of Chombi is a little hard to follow. But also, for any of the credit cards that I mentioned in this video, links are in the description. So if you are interested in getting an IHG card or a Chase Marriott Bonvoy Balance credit card, or a Bonvoy Brilliance or an American Express Hilton Aspire, feel free to use the links in the description box below. And also, if you are joining, please hit the like button on the way in. We are trying to hit that 3,000 subscriber milestone. It looks like we will hit it this weekend, but maybe not tonight. But still, wanted to say thank you for everybody who has ever subscribed to this channel. Thank you for that like. Ever subscribe to this channel, and I will continue to bring value to you guys. And then next time we do this, it won't be 3,000. It will be like a double, right? Because we're just going to keep going up. MR says, besides multiple Hilton Aspires, any other non-Hilton cards you would ever double or triple up? I have multiple, or player 2 has multiple Marriott Bonvoy Brilliance. Chambi says, thank you about that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so you can also double up on the Bonvoy Brilliant. The reason why we doubled up on it, player two doubled up on it, and then is player two is tripling down the Hilton Aspires. So she only needs one more. Then I have 3 Hilton Aspires as well. So the reason why adding more Bonvoy Brilliance is because they do come with a very nice free night certificate, right? Also, they don't have like a $300 travel credit like they used to, but it's a $300 dining credit that you get $25 per month. So think about it. If we have 3 Marriott Bonvoy Brilliance, we get $75 a month to spend on dining. That's pretty good. That's $75 a month. Excuse me, every month for as long as I'm in the military. That's pretty good. And that goes along with all the Uber Eats money or all the Uber credits that I get with all of the platinum cards. If you don't know how many platinum cards, man, you got to check the catalog. We're rolling with a lot of platinum cards over here. MR says, what is your best use case for the $250 airline incidental credit on a Hilton Aspire? Check this video. I'm just going to post this video in the chat. Check this one. This will give you the best use case for it. If I can find it. Yep. Wait, did I not post that video? Let me reread the question. He said, best use case for the $250 airline incidental credit on the Hilton Aspire. Yep. So it's going to be the United Travel Bank. I'll post I'll copy. Here's the video where I really talk about the United Travel Bank hack. Also, check my community posts because I've done. Let me see if I've done any community posts about the. Yeah. So I don't think it will let me share. Yep, it'll let me share. It will. Then check this post. This is a pretty good post where I talk about using the $250 travel incidental credit. Michael Stewart says, opening accounts or CDs for a certain time and paying off the card. Chase is very accepting of funding. I don't know about the card you're using, though. Doctor of Credit has many DPs on the cards and accounts that work. Michael Stewart, I think I lost what you were replying to on that. Tommy says, I've been watching your videos for a few years and I always benefited from your videos. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad I could be a benefit. MR says, I'm a Delta bro. If anyone else in the chat has any tips, thanks for the links. Oh, of course. Yeah. Definitely use those links. You got the video in there and then you got the community posts in there. And then there should be some more community posts if you go through, just look for like stuff on Hilton. I've posted a lot of data points about using that specific $250 hack. So you don't have to just hear me talk about it on this live stream and then log off. It's always going to be there. DC Gemini says maybe use it for the lounge once Delta makes those changes and you run out of passes. And then Michael Stewart says, MR, doesn't Chad have a video on Delta? So, MR, am I understanding that you want tips on using the Delta Reserve? or a Delta credit card? Sorry, you got to help me out with that one. Um, I might not be following the chat as closely to be able to answer that because I do have videos on the Delta Reserve as well. I'm trying to use this companion certificate for the Delta Reserve. One of the bad things about it though is it is a domestic uh, companion pass, which means I can only use it within the 48 contiguous United States. I can't use it for international travel like how I would want to, but beggars can't be choosers. There's still plenty of places inside the US that I can go to, plenty of Delta hubs, like Salt Lake City, for example, if I wanted to do a trip there. Oh, Chomby says, please, everyone watch, hit the like. Yeah, everyone hit the like. I think everyone in here should have probably hit the like button. DC Gentleman, I said, I think he's talking about the airlines. No credit. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I would switch. I would switch over to United. Like it depends on where you live. If you live in a Delta hub and you only really ever fly Delta, then I guess you can't really use a $250 credit. But if you live in a Delta hub, but it's also still kind of a United hub, like it exists where there's a Delta hub and a United hub. Um, so just check your airport, see what you use most. I know if you live in like the DC area, the DC is not like really a DC is like a multiple hub. So like United and Delta and then Baltimore, Southwest, like a lot of different airlines fly out of this main area. So it just depends on what airline, what type of hub you're in. MR says tips for using the $250 Aspire. Okay. Yeah. I don't have any tips for that specifically. I would have to look something up, but maybe somebody in the chat has something. Michael Stewart says funding. It's like buying accounts for CDs, a way to meet spending requirements similar to, but you can actually buy the account or CD. Huh. Interesting. So you could do like a 6-month CD. Michael Stewart, is it what you're saying? You could do like a 6-month CD and then get the money back from the minimum spend requirement, but you just paid yourself. Is that what you're saying? DC Gemini says Sky Club lounges or seat upgrades. Not to, yeah. I would view like Sky Club Lounge, like maybe it's because I wouldn't need a Sky Club Lounge because I have like the Delta Reserve and then I have like Platinum card that comes with access to the Sky Club Lounge. So I wouldn't want to waste money doing something like that. I think you're probably better off figuring out where you're trying to go next using like United and then being able to just subsidize that trip using that $250 credit. Gabe's Gone says, are there any links for my player two to avoid Amex pop-up jail? We found a Hilton one a few months back. Exactly. Gabe's Gone. You're saying like are there links where you can apply for a card that avoids pop-up jail? I think American Express just having access to your social security number and knowing who you are, I think that's the thing that keeps you in the pop-up jail. I don't think there's a link that could take you out of that. I mean, you can feel free to try it. What card are you trying to get? Gabe's Gone. Yeah, let me know what card you're actually trying to get. Because if you're trying to get like an American Express Platinum card, yeah, well, you personally shouldn't be. If you have multiple Platinums, which I would suspect that you do, you're not going to be able to get the sign up bonus for any of them anymore anyway. So Michael Stewart says, John at Bank Accounts Bonus Central here on the tube. He has many videos. It's a little hack he uses. Oh, I'm not familiar with that. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Oh, hit the like button for me. Por favor. I spent a little time in Barcelona, por favor. This light is getting into my eyes. I need to go rest my eyes now. All right, guys. Gabe, you got 3 plats, another Marriott, or my P2 only has 1 Amex. So basically anything. Gabe, P2's got to have some Aspires. You're gonna need some Aspires. That's what I would recommend for you. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, Gabe, you gotta get some Aspires because you only get 5 credit card slots, right? I personally have 3 Aspires, and then my P2 is about to get her 3rd this month. That's 6 free night certificates at some of the best properties in the world. Yeah, you just gotta have it. But yeah, use the link in the description or the link that I just posted to get your Hilton Aspires. All right, appreciate everyone joining. Uh, Continuing to hit the like button. We did not hit the 3,000 threshold, but we will hit it this weekend. Still appreciate everyone for joining. Thank you guys, and peace. I'm out.